We're a third generation family business. The business was started in 1953 by my grandfather, and like all good butchers, he made his own pies and sausages and of course our now famous haggis. My brother and I joined in the early 90s, and at that point we had to make a very difficult but pivotal decision for the business, which was, do we stay in red meat retailing or do we take what seemed like the huge step to go completely into haggis production? And we opened what was then the world's first custom-built haggis facility. We make a food that has never been invented in a new product development kitchen, which is rather unique. So many products you see for sale in a supermarket have been made by a collection of people that are trying to meet a consumer's need. And I'm really delighted that haggis still meets a consumer need. But now, obviously, in order to accommodate the needs of a more modern consumer, we do portion-controlled sizes. It's microwavable. And in the 1980s, my father also developed the first vegetarian haggis. It is an all-year-round dish with very versatile applications. So, for example, haggis nachos, sprinkling it on top of a pizza, putting it in a baked potato, making a panini out of it. You can even barbecue haggis if it's in the right casing, which we do make as well.
Dealing with our waste is very important to us, primarily because there's now money to be made from waste. We now have organic waste that we send away, and that gets turned into compost. We have fat that gets collected from the cooking process, and that gets turned into biodiesel, not by us but by a refiner. We segregate our plastic and paper at source now. We've worked very hard to reduce our landfill waste, and we're now 88% landfill free. The advice I'd give to other companies about really being serious about how green they are and sustainable they are is that it's not rocket science. Some of the stuff's very simple to introduce because it's so much easier to be ahead of the game and already doing it rather than being forced to do it. There's a lot of help out there to do the sort of things that we've already done. There are free audits available. We've taken advantage of those. The Scottish Food and Drink Federation, we're offering one through an independent auditing company. EnviroWise are doing an audit, the Carbon Trust are doing an audit, and they see where potentially savings can be made. We do a lot with schools and universities. We usually have every year a placement programme, as well as the placement programme through the Business Environmental Partnership. This will be our third year now that we've worked with them, taking on a student for 10 weeks, and we decide what the placement's going to be. This year it's water harvesting, last year it was reduction of utilities, and the year before we were looking at reducing water consumption. We've done quite a lot of mentoring from ourselves as a family business. We did a lot of work with Caledonia University in succession planning. We've also mentored other companies, and we worked with a pie manufacturer in how to help them develop their business. We have also been mentored by Hazelwood Foods, and it was very rewarding for them and for us that an idea that was created in the morning by the afternoon was a procedure and a policy and a fully working example of how quickly a small business can turn an idea into a working solution.
Every single person who works in this organisation needs to understand what this company is about. We have a great quality here, but that quality is for nothing if the people who work here don't believe in it. So I think it's really important that they see that right from the start, right from the minute they're interviewed, we take an interest in that. Yeah, we conducted an employment engagement survey about 18 months ago. It's quite a brave thing to do because it was anonymous, so people can say what they like. But there were 3 really great things that came out of that for us. You would expect your staff to want to earn more money. You would expect them to want to have a work-life balance. and everybody feels that communication in a company can be improved. So in a way it was no surprise to hear those were the three main themes. But what was wonderful for us was to have the opportunity to do something about it. And we came up with a scheme that seemed to be a win-win, which was to reduce the number of hours they did in a week but keep their money the same, which equates to a pay rise per hour. And we hired 20% more staff and put them onto a 4-day week, which meant that they got much better quality of life. They had one rest day during the week, and every 5th week they get a long weekend. So that work-life balance for them has been re-established, and we had a lot of consultation meetings with them to make sure that it was implemented in a way that they understood and that was fair. And we got 100% buy-in before we did it.
My sister and I are working on a plan at the moment. We're looking to expand in the next couple of years and take on another bit of building. We also applied for a grant this year, which we're still waiting to hear the results of, but our environmental work certainly helped us well on the way of maybe getting 40% funding towards the new bit of factory.
Macsween of Edinburgh has been at the forefront of haggis manufacturing for well over 50 years now. I'm very confident that's where we'll be in 10 years' time, leading the way in haggis innovation. We definitely see ourselves as brand leaders in terms of the excellence of the product that we make, but more than that, leading the way in terms of making a sustainable product too, not just a product at any cost. We will embrace different technologies in the future, again to reflect the needs of our consumer, but I still think there's a place for the core product made in the traditional way, because it's part of our heritage. We're not just in the food business here, we're in the heritage business.